Hi everybody, my name is Erin. Welcome back to my channel, 3 Cat Stitching. This is a cross stitch channel where I share what I've been working on and what's been going on in my life, although I don't generally do too many personal updates, but today has just been one of those days, you know? I, for the first time in a long time, really wanted to get Pandemic out. And I've been tracking sort of in 10-hour increments my progress, and I'm getting close to finishing up a 10-hour slot. And so it's always exciting to kind of stop, take a picture, breathe, reflect on the journey, and start again. And so I've been thinking for a few days. I want to pick it up. I let myself this morning because it was just one of those mornings. I should say it is Tuesday, July 11th, and it's about noon, 12:30ish. And so I picked up Pandemic, which I'll show you. I'm stitching this on a 20 count vintage country mocha with PMC 3799, and all of the animals I'm stitching in 501. So yeah, from back here you can't really see, but just in this little heart motif here, I have messed up quite obviously. And yeah, as I was stitching it, I was like, this looks a little bit different. I don't really know if you can tell in like the mock-up photo that the heart is like this, but I do know that in some cases with these sort of geometric patterns, sometimes things are a little bit different. And I looked at Pattern Keeper, and Pattern Keeper said, yes, this is right. But the more I was looking at it this morning, the more I was just a little bit concerned. Now, I had stitched this heart motif the last time I picked it up, so I was working in and around doing like that sort of crown motif and getting ready to stitch that other bird. And then when I looked at the bird pattern, I noticed that there was 3. So hopefully you can still hear me. So here is 2, but in my Pattern Keeper app, it was saying 3. So that bird would be bigger by 1 stitch over here. And I just wasn't quite sure if that, was right. And so I thought best I check the PDF. Just the PDF, and of course there are no extra stitches in the heart to make it wonky. There are no extra stitches in the bird to make it bigger, and I realized that when I imported the pattern into Pattern Keeper, I must not have done it correctly, because on every page break there was an extra row of stitches. Now I'm very lucky because this is all page 1, but I have worked into page 2. So my number 1 concern was all of this needing to be taken out. But I am very, very blessed that past me miscounted, marked it off as done, but actually stitched it correctly. So up at the top, right where those 2 bands kind of come out, it is 3 stitches, but Pattern Keeper has it as 4, or at least the Pattern Keeper that file that I was using has it at 4, but I did only stitch 3, so we're okay. And this right here is the page break, so I didn't do anything past the first page in terms of length. So the only thing that is wonky about this is the heart. The bird might be a stitch off, but it shouldn't really be too much of a big deal looking at it, getting ready to stitch it. So for now, I'm going to leave the quirky little heart and get back to stitching. I will say, if I had noticed this mistake when I was farther along, I would not be smiling about it. So when I re-imported it into Pattern Keeper, there's over 1,000 stitches less on my current file. And when I filled in everything that I had done, I am, I'm farther along because all those extra stitches are now out of the PDF, which is great. I'm very excited that I found that out. But that is the kind of morning it's been for me. Since I have last seen you, I have had my birthday. So I have a birthday start as well as a gift, which I'll show you first. All I wanted to do for my birthday was go to, we have a really good, a really wonderful antique mall in my city. It's 4 floors, and it's kind of the size of like a department store, so it's quite large. And every time I've gone, I've seen like incredible needlework and cross stitch there. And my one wish, dream, hope for my birthday was to go there and to find something. And so I still haven't made it to all of the floors. This time we did the basement, the main floor, and the second floor. So we still have to explore the third. But my partner actually found this, and then he treated me for my birthday. I haven't really looked into anything about it. Maybe I will for my next video so that I can give pattern details. But this is the cross stitch. So yeah, it's this beautiful orange cat in a bowl or a bucket. That mouse border is just absolutely insane, and I love it so much. So it came framed like this. I'm having a hard time keeping it on the wall. Nothing really wants to stay in the wall in my apartment anyway, so I'm trying to find a way to display this, because on the back it's just a hook. It's not, there's no stand or anything. But yeah, the stitches are absolutely beautiful. That cat reminds me so much of my cat Harold. I'll put a picture of him here. And the face on that cat is just honestly everything. And so this is stitched on, I would imagine it's too small for like a 14 count. So I'm guessing this is maybe a 16. I'm not very good at eyeballing that, but just based on the stitches, it looks like it's 2 threads over 1, and I don't think you would get that kind of coverage on 14. But yeah, that was my birthday gift. I'm very excited, thrilled, happy to have it. And I just can't wait to get it up somewhere. I'll get to my birthday start in a minute. I honestly wanted to have a billion birthday starts, and I do have technically 2. But I have a couple more in the works for later in the month. So I did finish my Bathing in the Asters whip, which is a pattern by Lindy Stitches. I have it already framed up. It's not my best framing job, and it might also look a little bit empty, but this is what I have it in. So I forewent. The border repeats itself up here, and for whatever reason, I decided I wanted it framed with all this open space. It kind of bothers my partner a little bit. He thinks that there should be something at the top, which is fair, because there should be, but I am happy enough with how it is. So this is just a frame that I picked up at Value Village, which is similar to, I guess, a Goodwill. I've been looking for tiny frames for my mini masterpieces, and there were some of these frames in a package with some small frames. So this is stitched 2/1 on a 20 count moss green fabric, and I changed the cat to be all black with DMC 3799 in there, because that is what my little cat looks like she's been kind of poking around down here. Maybe you've seen her. But yeah, so this just lives on a shelf now. And I'm very happy about that finish. Now let's get into my birthday starts. So I started Crab Dance by Tiny Modernist. I love this pattern so much. It's so cute. It was stitching up very, very quickly, but now I'm into all of the color changes. So it's a bit slow now. I changed this border, the outside border, because I'm stitching it on a dark blue fabric, or a mottled blue fabric. I changed it to be something a bit more me. So I changed it to a yellow color. This is what I have done. So this is all the way to the bottom. I just have to finish that border. And there you go. Yeah, I started in on the corner motifs there. This is a 20 count dyed blue effect is the title. Aida. It's from Easy Stitch for Fun. It's printed, so the back of the fabric is just this really kind of light blue, almost white. But yeah, I am loving it. So this part right here is the beginning of one of the crab's legs. And so the called for on the back of the, what am I saying? The called for border is just DMC 310. And I am stitching it instead with DMC 3854, which is this beautiful yellow color. And I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to get back to this. But because it's like, 5 stitches and then switching a color, I really need to give myself a bit of time, which is not something I'm going to have soon, because I got a job. Another beautiful thing that happened on my birthday is I received employment. I had an interview on the 3rd, and then my new boss, emailed me on my birthday with an offer of employment, which is really just so much fun. I'm very excited. I quit my previous job in May, and I've been off kind of just relaxing, dealing with burnout. I don't know that I'm 100% good in that case, but I am definitely in a better place than I was. And obviously, we live in a time where people need money. So it's about time I got a new job. And so I start on Monday, so 6 days from now. And I am just absolutely thrilled to begin working. Now I guess I'll go into my other birthday start, which isn't really a birthday start. I was going to wait until my birthday to start it, but I couldn't. I started it the end of June. It is called Quackworth, and it's by Ink Circles. I'll put a picture of it here. I am using the hand-dyed by Rolanda 100% cotton in River Moss. So I showed this in my last video as haul, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with all of the colors. But then I saw this pattern, and I was like, I think that's right. So I have a blue to purple variegated thread as well, and I was kind of talking with my partner, what one do I do? And we both decided this one. And honestly, the main reason why we decided orange, or why we decided green, is because I found thrifting this beautiful orange frame, which stitched on a is it 18? Yeah, stitched on 18 count Aida. This Quack Arc will fit perfectly in it. So enough yammering on, I might as well show you my stitching. I have the top motif and the first side motif, and so the other one comes over here. So it'll yeah, it'll fit in the frame with quite a bit of margin, which is fine. So the variegation is absolutely beautiful. It's honestly very subtle when you're stitching, and then you kind of look in the light and you just see the stunning change. I stitched this in, 2, maybe 3 days. Uh, and it's stitching up so fast, and I'm really enjoying the process of it. And I just love this color thread. And I'm very excited. I have a giant snowflake-esque motif to stitch in the middle, which I am, if I'm honest, avoiding a little bit. But that's just how it is. Let's see, what else do I have? I have been working on Birds from Bernard's Books by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is on a 20 count oatmeal Aida stitched with Leo and Roxy, or now Roxy Floss Co. Cheshire. And I got so much done. So I was kind of using this for two things, but I consistently realize the same thing about myself, and then I don't lean into it. So Marjorie from Marjorie Made has a new game called Pick-a-Whip, where every video she's going to pick a new prompt out of a jar, and that is what she's going to stitch on. So she has a prompt, and her prompt was birds, so she got to go through her whips and find a pattern with a bird. I'm not actually at the birds yet, but there are birds on this pattern. And then I also joined the Extreme Cross Stitch Challenge, and for whatever reason, I thought it would be really awesome of me to attempt to stitch for 30 hours on one whip in the course of a month. I've stitched for 8 hours on this whip, and thinking about picking it up is making me not want to stitch, because I got almost 1,000 stitches in. So yeah, I finished up. I guess I finished up over here, filling in this top border. I pulled this down a bit, and I started this flower at the very top. And so I kind of hit that 5-6 day mark, and that's kind of my tolerance for working on a project for long periods of time. So I kind of get to day 5, and then I want to just dive into something new. And so I think I'm gonna forego the extreme cross stitch challenge. I don't think I'll make it to 30 hours. I haven't picked this up since like the 7th. And then on the 7th, I put in like 40 stitches, and I was like, I don't want to stitch this anymore. So I'm not going to force myself to. I am so proud of the progress that I've made on this project in the past couple of weeks. It's really coming along beautifully, and I'm loving every stitch, but I can't force myself to stitch on it. So there we go. Yeah, I'm just thrilled, absolutely thrilled. And so the piece that I have been kind of working on, now that I've given myself permission to not stitch on that. And in my last video I said, to get it finished by its birthday or the end of the year, I only have to stitch 700 stitches a week, and then immediately revolted against that. And so I doubt that's going to happen, but if I keep picking it up and getting decent progress, it will get finished. So the thing that I've been working on in the meantime, I only picked it up yesterday, is Autumn Towne by Autumn Lindy Stitchery. I am stitching this also on a 20 count fabric from Easy Stitch for Fun. This is their like molted green color, and I'm stitching it with Roxy Floss Co. conversion. And so, yeah, what did I do? I started building this house and the tree that's here. I filled in a lot of the branches that are there, and I pulled the sky over. So this is the page break. The page comes like all the way down here though. So I have a lot of stitching still to do. It's no big deal, but I'm just, every time I pick it up, I am in awe of the colors and everything like that. It is a paper pattern, so it's a little bit tedious for me now that I'm a pattern keeper girl. But I'm really loving it, and I can't wait to continue on. I don't really have much in the way of haul or anything like that. I've just been sort of picking up thread here and there to kit up some more starts. For the first time in a little while, I thought gearing up to my birthday, I would want to start all the things, and so I started kitting all the things. But I'm at this place where I just kind of want to work on the whips that I have, which is really it's really joyful thing to experience. I started 2 projects. I finished one, and I think I want to finish like Crab Dance before I start another project. But I say that now, and by tomorrow I'll probably start something. Yeah, I'm just really into the projects that I have, and I was thinking about, what would a mid-year whip parade look like for me? Because I did my first whip parade with my first video in October of last year. So we're kind of getting to a point where it's a little bit too late, I feel like, for me to film a whip parade. But then I realized that a lot of the projects that I have or that I had in my whip parade um, in October are kind of waiting in the wings for a restart. I've learned a lot about myself and my stitching in the past, 8 months. Um, and a lot of those projects are projects that I love dearly, but I either started them on the wrong fabric or, I made a mistake that um, I can't fudge or don't really want to pick out, so I want to restart. Um, or, I was using paper patterns, and even though I've highlighted everywhere, like I must have missed something, and I'm completely lost when I go to look at it. So I have a lot of projects that are kind of waiting in the wings to be restarted. And so my whip parade would look very different, and there would be a number of projects that you wouldn't see again. And so I was thinking, I'll probably wait until um, December to film a whip parade, and hopefully by then I will have restarted and gotten some significant progress on all of those things that I had started and am now waiting to restart. So I'm thinking in August I will kind of start bringing one of those restarts to fruition, and hopefully, yeah, by December I'll have them all restarted and with progress, and that will just kind of alleviate, I think, some of the pressure I feel right now about my whips. And I know it's a hobby and you shouldn't feel pressure or anything like that, but I've realized that I've started quite a few large whips, and though I am definitely leaning into the small whip quick finish type stitching, I think that in between, I love those 5-day stretches of progress on a big project. And so, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to stitching what I'm stitching on, and seeing the progress that I make before my next video. Now, my progress might slow down um, for the next little while as I get trained in my new job. Stitching is respite for me, but also, like, if it's thinking, I don't necessarily have a project that isn't thinking at the moment. So maybe what I'll do with, say, like Autumn Town, maybe I'll work in the next few days on kind of outlining some things so that I could just do fill in so that I can stitch and unwind without having to like pay attention and think too hard. Um, and yeah, I am really excited about my new job. I'm excited to kind of get back into regular rhythm, and I'm excited about my whips. Thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday on Instagram. I will leave that linked below so you can follow me there, and we can chat. I post, almost every day on Instagram, at least in my stories. And thank you so much for watching. I am just ever grateful for the community and the friends that I'm making. And so I yeah, I would just love it if you stuck around, and I hope that you are having a wonderful summer, and I will see you soon, hopefully with another video. Bye!